Hey everybody, Mike Chipperini here, Chipper's Island Adventures, and today I'm going to show you how I sanitize my freshwater tank on my Travato 59K. So hey everyone, I'm standing in front of my Travato 59K, and sometimes you have to sanitize the freshwater tank. It's a good idea to do that in your RV and also on boats as well. Anytime you have some type of stored water source on your vehicle or boat. So at any rate, I'm going to go ahead and show you how I do it. Now, my way may be a little different than other people's. It also may be, some people may consider it a little wrong. Some people may consider it perfectly acceptable. I'm not sure. I'm just going to show you how I do it, and this has worked for me so far. So let's go ahead and get to it. Okay, so I'm at the rear of my rig right now, and I'm going to be using my Nautilus panel in a minute. But before I start all of this, what I want to do is show you what you need in order to do this. One is you're going to need a little bit of bleach. You're going to need a measuring cup, a funnel, and a pair of channel locks or something similar in order to get the plug off of the freshwater tank underneath. You'll also need a hose, and I already have a hose hooked up here to my house, and on my hose I also have a water filter, as you can see here. I do like to filter my water, and what's interesting with this is I just use that water filter to do what I'm doing right now. When I actually fill the freshwater tank with fresh water after the tank has been sanitized, I use a different setup, and I'll show you that when I go ahead and do that. So let's go ahead and begin the first step, which is to drain the freshwater tank. So on the Travato 59K, the freshwater tank is located right in front of the rear tire on the driver's side. And what you're going to need is a pair of channel locks, which I've already sized out. And you want to get in here and go ahead and turn in, as you know, lefty-loosey, righty-tighty. So I'm basically going in a counterclockwise direction. And here we go. So now we're just going to let that go ahead and drain out. And I'm going to go ahead and open up a faucet inside. And this will take a couple minutes, won't take too long. Okay, so one of the things I'm going to do before I put the plug back on the tank, I'm going to apply a little bit of Teflon tape, not much. Just a little bit. This helps prevent any leaks, and all that's preventing the leak is this plug, and I just think it's a good idea. Little tape, that's all. So what I did is I put the tape on this way, because that way there, when it screws on, it won't tear the tape off. Keep that in mind when you do this. So I just went ahead and put the plug on. One of the things you want to make sure is that that plug goes on straight. You don't want to cross thread anything down there. So it should go on pretty easily, finger tight, and then you can tighten it down with either the channel locks or something to that effect. Whatever it is you use to open it. I've noticed some people have these handmade devices, and I'm going to try making one of those. So we'll see how that goes in a later video. So for now, we're going to go ahead and do the next step. All right. So the next step to this is I need to fill the freshwater tank. I've already put the Nautilus settings to power fill, and now I'm going to put bleach inside the hose. And that way there I can get it into the tank. It's probably the easiest way to do this. Now what they say is that you should put in about 1/4 cup per 16 gallons. On board here I have an 18-gallon tank, so I'm going to use a good flush quarter cup, put it right in there like so, And then I'll add a little dollop more, not much. There we go. You can see some of it leaks out on the bottom. That's okay, it isn't gonna hurt anything. So I'm all done with the funnel. All right, so as you can see, I have my hose all hooked up now. The bleach is inside the hose. So once I turn on my water, it's gonna go ahead and flush that bleach right into the tank. And you'll notice I already have my settings set to power fill tank, which is just a matter of 2 knobs being turned downward. So let's go ahead and turn on the water. Now, by the way, before I connected this and put the bleach in, I did run some water through the filter, through the hose, just to get out any water that was in that hose. So now, I've just turned on the water. I can hear the water pouring into the tank. So now we're at a point where we just wait. Okay, so what you want to do is wait till the overflow kicks in, and that has kicked in. As you can see, I got a little bit of water overflowing under there. So now I'm going to go ahead and turn off the water over here at the source. So I've turned off the water at the source, and now I'm going to go ahead and fix these so that I'm on dry camping. Now I'm on dry camping. Now all I got to do is drain the hose. And I find it best to go ahead and start at the other end. Let's go ahead and disconnect that hose. That way there. Let the water drain out this way as opposed to getting it all over yourself up at the Nautilus system. So then we'll go ahead and just disconnect here. Plug up your thing. I'm just going to give a quick wipe here, because you do get out of that hose there, I get a little bit of water leakage. So it's looking pretty good. So I ran a little water through the system, through each of the faucets, and now all you got to do is wait. They say 6 to 10 hours. I'm going to drive it around a little bit and let it slosh around. I got to do an errand anyway, and tomorrow I'll go ahead and drain it. That way there I'm safely assured that I don't have any contamination in my tank. I'll fill it with water, then I'll drain it, then I'll fill it again just to give a little bit more precaution. So that's about it for today. I'll continue this video tomorrow when I finish flushing out the tank. So hey everybody, it's the following day. Now yesterday, after I filled up the tank with the mixture, I went ahead and took a nice ride to BJ's, which is about a 20-minute ride out of town, and that water got a chance to slosh around on the ride. I also filled up the gas there, which is always a good bargain, by the way. So now what I'm going to do is go ahead and drain the tank. So I'm going to go ahead and start on that now. So as you can see, the water's draining out. I'm going to let that do its thing. And you know what? It doesn't smell Cloroxy at all, which is good. That was a good mix. So I went ahead and drained the freshwater tank, and now I've put the plug back in. So it's all ready to be filled up with good fresh water. Now, one of the things I like to do is filter out my fresh water really well. And speaking of filters, one of the things I failed to mention is I don't have a filter in the canister in the in-house filtration system. I'm actually going to remove that in the future. So let me show you my setup here. As you can see, I have my blue hose coming up, and then I go to a 2-stage water filter system. Now that 2-stage water filter system is then led right into the Nautilus system. The beauty with my 2-stage is it has 2 filters. One is a 5-micron filter that gets rid of the sediment and all that stuff, and the other one is a 0.5 micron. Now, this setup, I believe, is a whole lot better than the typical blue inline water filters you get. You know, but to each their own, whatever you like to use. This is left over from my Class C, and I prefer to use it this way. I just like a good water filtration system. Get rid of the impurities before they get into your house. So, I'm gonna go ahead and fill up the tank. This is gonna take a little bit, and that's really about it with this video. Once the tank is full, that's it. Some people might want to flush the tank once again. I'm not going to bother. I think everything's going to be fine. Another thing I did prior to just filming this little segment here is I turned on the city water connection and just ran some fresh water through the lines real quick. And everything looks good. It really looks good. So I'm going to go ahead and fill this. By the way, if you like this video, feel free to hit that thumbs up button and subscribe to my channel. All the best to all, and happy RVing.